We got a video to shoot, dude. What's the holdup? I just gotta delete all my Frederick Anderson tweets. Oh. And Justin Hall tweets. Yeah. And, Martin Marincin tweets. Oh, Steven, there's just not enough hours in the day. Hi, kids! Victorious puppies! Oh. This team is ruining my life. Why do I watch hockey? Stress relief! We can. And we will. Wait a sec. No. We can't have this as the background today. Hey, Victory Puppies, come help me switch this up. Victory Puppies, boys! It's the 10-year anniversary of the Golden Goal for the Golden Doodles. Sidney Crosby scores! Sidney Crosby! The Golden Goal! And Canada has once-in-a-lifetime Olympic goal! Yeah! On the 10-year anniversary... No, we gotta change this too. On the 10-year anniversary of Sidney Crosby's Golden Goal, we gotta switch it up a little bit. Leafs win! 5-3! Over the Florida Panthers. Grittiest win of the season, biggest win of the season. Let's talk about it. Let me start by saying, American Leaf fans who watch these, I'm sorry, this might be tough. And we are gonna talk a little bit about the Golden Goal and how I named my dog Iggy after the Golden Goal. Yeah, you see, Golden Doodle, yeah. But first, the Leafs swept Florida. They beat Tampa and the Panthers. That feels so impossible these days. Let's talk about it. So, going into this game, I'm a hurricane of emotion. You can tell. Listen, Jake Muzzin is out. Morgan Riley is out. This team sorely misses Cody Ceci, and it's true. And it was actually announced that the Leafs would go into this game with 7 defenders. Dennis Malgin, in his return to Florida, scratched. I hated the idea at first, and it's completely the opposite of what we've come to expect from the Keefe Leafs. I gotta imagine Malgin was at least consulted about it, and in the end, I think it ended up proving to be the right decision, and we'll talk about that too. But in the meantime, the Leafs are going up against the Florida Panthers, who, flaws and all, are still in the playoff picture and one of the best offensive teams in the league, with a D-core of Dermott Hall, that's the top pair, by the way, Sandine Barry, Rosen, Liljegren, and Marincin. Replace Justin Hall with Vincent Loverde, and that is basically the D-core that the Marlies won the Calder Cup with. So for everyone who fantasizes about, oh, could this NHL team even beat this AHL team? You got your wish. The first 2 minutes, they go okay, and then 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It's not just the defensive personnel, man. All 5 Leaf skaters on the ice are in this picture. Who do you have? Aaron Ekblad, who's one of the 2 Panthers in that photo, is barely covered. That allows him to make a pass to the point to Keith Yandel. No one's even close to him. He blasts it on. There's a rebound, which you can blame on Freddie, but for crying out loud, Aaron Ekblad, again, one of the guys in that original photo, all 5, it doesn't do any good. They don't get him. He's able to set up a streaking Mark Pysyk. Oh, that guy again! And it's 1-0 Panthers that quick. The other night against Tampa, I gave Freddie a pass on all 3 of those goals. Dude, that rebound's bad. The defense around him it's unbelievable, and it's not just the defensive personnel. You could easily look at that and go, well, it's the guys they had to ice because their top 2 defensemen are... Dude, who do any of you have? Freddie's been driving me nuts, and the third goal is utterly inexcusable, and we'll talk about that. Goals like this one make me go, I can't even look at his numbers. High danger scoring chance does not begin to describe that defensive catastrophe in front of Freddie. What's he supposed to do? Well, he gave up a big rebound. Well, there's 5 of ya! Listen, I think you can not be crisp, but at least have a purpose. Like, Sandine's in the corner, but he's not doing a very good job of it. Tavares is at least down low doing something. Hyman, I think, was compensating for Sandine, so that's why he's not high. Barry, I don't know. And Nylander is oblivious to Pysyk coming in. Not good, no bueno. But, hey, I know they won. Chill. This game proved that it's not over after 2.5 minutes, is it? You can get it together. All right, let's see what you got. About a minute later, Austin Matthews working it down low in the corner, throwing his weight around. He was a force. Dermott and Hall throwing it around. I thought the dermatologist pairing was good last night. Back down low to Matthews. He frees up a little space for Zach Hyman, and Hyman will fight his way through the rest of it. He smacks it past Sergei Bobrovsky. Tie game. That is grinder, passenger guy Zach Hyman with his 20th goal of the season in a season he didn't start for a month and a half because he was recovering from knee surgery. And by the way, he scored 20 last year as well. Starting to think he might be good at this hockey thing. And it's a tie game 1-1. The big money guys have been taking some heat recently, and some of it is deserved. Man, I really do think Austin Matthews has hit another gear this year. That was a tidy offensive shift from the whole team there, but Matthews, when he decides to be a force, and that seems to be a permanent thing now, it's over. People want him to be more physical, and I get it. The guy's like 6'3", 220. But he did this last year, and no one gave him any credit for it, and he's doing it again this year, and everyone's acting like it's a surprise. In February, you're supposed to ramp it up, and Matthews has been ramping it up. It's not necessarily with big hits. He's been throwing the body a little bit more, but man, that guy is bullying people in the corners. It's not even necessarily a going to the gym thing. It's just the older you get, you just pack on meat. You see, I'm not fat, I'm mature. Matthews is already on pace to snore his way to 50 goals. Imagine what he'll be a couple years from now. When Mitch is skating with that creative confidence, Austin is skating with that belligerence, and Hyman's general bloodlust. It's a pretty darn good line. Against his former team, no less. A few minutes later, I think it's a half bad play, half bad luck. Puck comes to the offensive blue line. Martin Marincin is trying to stand his ground and keep it in, and he can't. While he's standing still, Kerfoot gets into the picture, and he's pawing at it and whacking at it, and he gives it right to the Panthers. Now, all of a sudden, Liljegren's facing a 2-on-1, and he's standing completely upright and has neither of them. Now, you can look at that again and go, oh my god, that's another horrible rebound from Freddie. But the guy's up against it when he's got to make 2 saves for every shot. And about 5 minutes later, Noel Acciari comes in. Oof, Maron! Again, another play where Liljegren's, he's not really doing anything. I know that shot cannot go in. That's primary number one. That shot can't go in. Your defenders in front of you need to be doing something. And he wasn't. And so right away, I just tweet, get Freddie out of the net. Get him out, I'm done. And while I was stewing on that and just so mad, Dave Poulin actually, I thought, made a really good point at intermission. It's too easy. It's just too easy. It's letting the team off the hook. And for everyone saying turn the net over to Campbell, I would like to see Campbell get into a few more games, and he will. But I just think if this team is going to have a shot, they got to get Freddie back on track, and he's only going to do that in net. I just don't think Freddie Anderson is going to video session his way to a Vezina trophy. Keeping Freddie in this game ended up being a hell of a decision from Sheldon Keefe. One guy on this shift did not make it through most of the rest of this game, and that was Liljegren. I think I read he got 1 shift in the second period. I don't even know what he got in the third. He might be the odd man out next game. And I feel bad for him, but that's just the reality when you're a young player trying to get into this league and you're in this sort of dire situation. And it's why dressing 7D, I think, was the right choice. There's just too many guys in the lineup that basically haven't played in the NHL. Sandin, who's a teenager, Liljegren, who's like a year older than that and has played even less, and Rosen, who's older than the both of them, but I think has played the least out of any of them. Here, let me check this just to make sure. Okay, Rosen's got 17 NHL games. That was his 17th game and his 9th this season. 9 this season ties Timothy Liljegren, who has 9 on his career. Rasmus Sandin has 25. Justin Hall's at 76. Anyone know why that's so low, Mike? Travis Dermott, who is on his ELC, is nearly double that at 152. And the most experienced defender in the Toronto Maple Leafs lineup last night with 223 career NHL games, Martin Marincin. Last night was an evaluation game for the Leafs defenders in the lineup. I think Rosen wouldn't even be up if Muzzin hadn't gotten hurt. He passed the test, Liljegren didn't. Doesn't mean Liljegren will never get into the lineup again, but like Sheldon Keefe's is doing what he's got to do to get this team into the playoffs somehow. And I know the Leafs defense is weak as a team concept, but watching that game last night, I was getting so mad, and I really calmed down throughout. 1, because they started playing better, but 2, I'm literally looking at what they have to work with, and I'm like, oh, I think they might miss Riley and Muzzin a bit. And I know I've been shouting, like, who cares about injuries? Teams have injuries. Most of them suffer for it. The point still stands that the season doesn't stop and nobody cares about your feelings, but, like, it sucks. Dubas and company are not looking at the Leafs' current decor and going, ah, yes, this is what we want. They did not build this and go, ah, brilliant, optimal. And as for the frequently asked question, what if they had traded Tyson Barrie? I try not to think about it. Now, before that unnecessarily long aside, I mentioned that it was 3-1 Panthers. I was upset. And these absolute mad lads tied the thing! Dying seconds of the Leafs power play, only a couple minutes left in the first. Jason Spezza, I would straight up get his dry cleaning. Sends it over to Kasperi Kapanen, who takes approximately 6 years to shoot it. And then he does, and it goes in. It's a nice little shot, but if you think Freddie's been bad, at least he makes half of what that other guy makes. Kasperi Kapanen brings the Leafs within 1. Okay, all right. Congrats to everyone who took the over on that game. I don't know, why didn't I bet on that game? I should have. It's the Leafs and Panthers. It's going for the over. And actually, just rewatching that replay, it was deflected by Aaron Ekblad, so everyone getting on Bobrovsky's case. I'm not sure what he's supposed to do. And standing right behind Ekblad, being annoying, Zach Hyman. There's so many people I'm gonna have to pick up dry cleaning for. About a minute later, a play that I don't know how G-rated do we want to keep this video. This puck goes to the end boards in the Panthers zone, and they're like, "It's cool, we can take our time." It's the Leafs. Those guys are so slow. Austin Matthews just the Leafs' most potent point plotter pummels the Panthers with his posterior. Marner dangling it like, oh, that devil stick training in elementary school came in handy. Hyman whacks at it, and his face is dribbling with blood, and none of it looks like it's his, so no one touches him. Matthews, blah! And before the first period is even done, the Leafs tie it 3-3. And the magical thing about this Leafs team, it doesn't happen all the time, but the magical thing about them is there are certain times where you can look at them and you go, oh, they're not losing this game. That ridiculous spinorama pass from Matthews to Marner during the Next Generation game, that carnival against Carolina, the first one. Leafs weren't even winning when that goal went in. They hadn't even tied it yet when that goal went in, but I watched that and I went, oh, they're not losing. Look at this face. Look at this face. Look at this face. They are not losing! Out the Panthers' visiting dressing room is in an open field because everyone's running through a wall at intermission. I have actually screamed myself into hiccups. Oh, they've gone away. Now everyone's gonna think of... I can't make myself do them. Oh, okay, let me try to get through this. Oh, there's so many games left. All right. First period was a carnival. Not everyone looked good. Freddie didn't look great. The team defensively didn't look great. They were rescued by their top line. That's very much what the top line is for. There are 40 minutes remaining in regulation. What you gonna do? I'll tell you what they're gonna do. It's still not even intermission. Travis Dermott gets rocked from behind. John Tavares with a big hit? Sure. And Kasperi Kapanen with Mackenzie Weegar was actually, I'm still hiccuping, one of the most entertaining, unbelievable atmospheres the Leafs have had in a game so far this season. There were lead exchanges, there were battling, there was hits, there was fighting. Look at Kapanen. That guy's fight card is short. The tools you need to stick up for yourself are what God gave you. Doesn't matter if you're the smaller one, the less experienced one. I don't even care if you lose the fight. Nobody likes being punched in the face. Now, maybe avoid that in most situations, but if someone does it to you, I think you have the green light. So now, can Sheldon Keefe settle this group down, but somehow keep the intensity heading into the second? The answer looked like yes. The shots were 9-9 after the first. The shots in the second period alone, 14-4. Now, the Leafs didn't score on any of those 14, and the score didn't change, so you could argue that it didn't matter. Even in the first period, you hold the home team to just 9 shots. The team is doing a decent defensive job. They just had, I would argue, 3 defensive lapses. And sometimes that's all it takes, and sometimes you need a little bit of goalie magic. I didn't think Bobrovsky was very good in this game. He did give the Panthers a little bit of goalie magic. He made some huge saves. But if you hold the home team to 4 shots in a period where you erase a 2-goal lead, you're gonna do fine. You know that whole 99 times out of 100 thing the Leafs have been peddling and we sort of roasted them for it? No. This is a 99 times out of 100 sort of thing. Fast forwarding to the third period, nearly halfway through it. Marincin actually doing a good job holding the puck at the offensive line. We've talked about the Leafs goof-ups, let's talk about the Panthers. He had a pretty decent game after the first period, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that 3 guys on Martin Marincin at the point might be overkill. Even worse for the Panthers is despite having those 3 guys on him, he gets the shot through. Kyle Clifford with the shot, stop, gets the rebound, whacks it just loose. And I've said this on the podcast this season, Austin Matthews does something that all the elite goal scorers do, where he turns into a ghost. Everyone forgets about him. This is not how you guard William Nylander, sirs. Willie grabs it, spins, fires, finds the only little bit of light, and the Leafs have the lead! Clifford and Kerfoot doing an amazing job in front of the net. Willie with a nose for the puck, nose for scoring goals in front of the net, and he just doesn't get the credit for it. But wow, was Martin Marincin so good on that goal. You seriously gotta give him props when he deserves it. And in the final minutes, the most amazing thing happened. The Leafs worked hard. They played for each other. And even though they were outnumbered 6-on-5, Freddie's making some saves. saves. Everything is going right. Justin Hall whips it down the ice. What are you doing? That's gonna be icing. Yeah! And I turned as red as my jersey and the Leafs won. Questions. Why is hockey like this? Because all the therapists in Ontario are in Gary Bettman's pocket. It's a racket. It's a conspiracy. Martin Marincin, good or great? I'm happy about his second and third period too, but listen. Shut up. Can I leave work early? Yeah, it's Friday, yeah. Thoughts on 7D and benching Mulligan? Plus minus isn't great, but Liljegren was a -2 in 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Keefe went into that game looking for answers, and he got them. I don't think they should send Liljegren down under normal circumstances. I would say that, but I believe they have the home game against Vancouver, and then they go right into the California road trip, so they gotta bring him. While the D-Corps is so understaffed, I wouldn't be shocked to see them go with 7D for the next few games. Now, I have a question for you. Where were you for the 2010 gold medal game? For me, I was in the 300s. I'm gonna brag about that till I die. And then I'm gonna come back as a ghost and haunt you. I was at the gold medal game. I had a buddy who was at his university friend's house that he lived in with a bunch of other students. There was a student trying to move in that day during the game. And everyone's looking at him like, did he pack a calendar? So leave a comment in the comment box down below. What were you doing February 28th, 2010? It was a day I'll never forget. There's an entire chapter of it in my book. PJs. It's the best. I ended up naming my first dog after the goal, so tell me about it. That is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Canada won gold. Waterloo! I'm coming to see you on the weekend, and I hope you show up and you're there. And here's some more book dates for you there. Yeah, not just Waterloo. Going to a bunch of different places. Ontario's big.